What's happening, folks? What is going on? What is the deal? How's everybody doing? First and foremost, welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the virtual Heinz Field, aka the Steel Basement. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had a great weekend, a lovely Memorial Day weekend. And you know, some of you guys that may be veterans out there and gals, for anyone who may be veterans out there, salute to you with both hands. Thank you for your service. And, just make sure you know that you are appreciated. But how's everybody doing, man? We are here. And again, if we're talking about Memorial Day weekend, that means we are now in June. It is June the 1st, which means we're getting closer and closer and closer to some real football news and real football action, which, of course, we won't see any real action until, luckily enough, we're playing in the Hall of Fame game, so we'll be able to see action earlier than most, but we don't have much longer. Mini camp should be coming up soon, and then training camp, so the information, a little more information should start creeping out where we'll have more to talk about. But, of course, you guys know right now, during the lull period, it's really we're pulling at strings trying to find stuff to talk about. We're just having a time where we can all just hang out and have a good time here. That's pretty much it. So there you have it. Now, let me give you guys a quick heads up. Behind me, out my back door, my little man is out there playing with his friends. I've already told him that he needs to go through the front door when he comes in. But, he's 7 years old. He's having a good time. When he's ready to come in, we expected him to remember that? Maybe. Maybe not. So there is a chance he may come busting through the door here. And if he does, oh well, who cares? So be it. I guess that's it. Hold on, guys. Let me focus my camera in the right way. Give me a second here. Let me turn the, a little too bright. There we go. All right, guys, so I know you guys remember from last week. Look, there it is again. You remember from last week, and I'm going to have to figure this out with the camera, man. For some reason, it keeps taking in light in and out. What I'm actually going to do is, my brother-in-law is a photographer. He knows a lot more than I do. So I'm going to send him a clip of this and figure out what's going on, man. It's got to be something with the ISO or something with the f-stop. I don't know. That's causing that light to bounce in and out. It might even be the fact that I have autofocus on. So maybe that's it. So I'm going to send that to him. Hopefully we can get that rectified. And thank you to, I'm not going to say the name. You know who you are. Thank you for who reached out to me asking, if by any chance I needed more lighting and was actually going to send me some. Wow, you guys, I'm telling you, are so gracious. But it's definitely not that. My lighting is great. It's not the lighting. It's actually something going on in the camera. So there you have it. But the fact that you all, again, I won't say your name unless you want to say it. The fact that you thought about that, that's very special and was very touching. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's say hello to the early commenters really quick. Nay Drews, what's going on? My good buddy Ron Simpson in the building. Rajon 39, Drama Seidel. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Mr. Winningham is in the building. Xavier Walls, Lancet Shield, Rel Fax. Who else we got in here? The Real Missy 868. Okay. The Real Missy sounds like a female listener. So if you are, welcome. Welcome, Miss Lady. We'll appreciate all of our female listeners. So we want to give you a special hello. Let's see who else we got in here. James Ramey. Bully Mob Canal. Who else? Hello, Miss Destiny. How you doing this evening? Hope you are well. Patrick Knox, Devil, and I think I got all of you guys so far. All right, let's get into the boring news. So I'm going to lean heavily on you guys, man. Listen, you guys can always dictate and influence the topics. Just put it in the, in the chat. Or if you want to call, you always know the phone lines are open. We usually get to the phone calls after I run through the topic. So phone numbers right there on screen. If some of you guys are unable to see the screen or some of you guys may be listening while driving or what have you, phone number is, and I'll say it slowly in case, you guys want to try to remember it and you can't write it down. It is area 619-924-0818. Once again, 619-924-0818. All right, so where are we going to start off, man? I guess we'll start off with Ben Roethlisberger. And basically, I have 3 topics to kind of chime in on in reference to Ben Roethlisberger. First thing we'll talk about is Ben Roethlisberger, confirms, which most of us already knew this because they kind of said that anyway. I know some of you guys were expecting, little, speculation, or you're a little skeptical as far as whether or not Ben Roethlisberger, in fact, he did want a pay cut. When it came out, when he got signed, all of us figured that, but now Ben Roethlisberger officially confirms it. He did a recent interview, of course, on Steelers.com. And he said, he told the reporter it was his idea. He said he literally, decided that he wanted to do whatever he could do to help the team and, help the team sign the guys that they wanted to sign. So he was willing to take the pay cut. Like I said, this is kind of old news, but again, I think it's newsworthy because he actually said it out of his mouth. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. But it's news, so I'll talk about it. I think it's very commendable, if in fact he was the first in line to come out right out the gate and say, hey, this is what I want to do if you have me back. Because this is like the second or third time we've heard him say, if they want me back. So he kind of knows he's at the end of his road, right? So I think it is commendable that Ben did that. And I know some people that, don't really think about the business side of things or player health or, player benefit or always want to count someone else's money. I know some of those folks who hear this are going to say, man, well, he should have took less than that. Come on, man. I mean, listen, I'm never will I fault an NFL player, a professional athlete of any sport. Never will I fault them for getting the money they want, getting the money they think they deserve, getting the money that they are deserving of. So I'm never going to ask a man to take a pay cut. No, never will I do that. Or woman, for that matter. Hopefully, sidebar. Hopefully, female sports will start paying as well. Because to my knowledge, I still don't think the WNBA has, any incredible salaries, which to me is that's kind of sad. I don't know for sure, but I'm just saying I would like to see some female sports as well. Let them get paid also. They're doing the same thing. Whether you want to say it's apples to apples or apples and oranges, I don't care about that. The fact that they're professionals, let's pay them like professionals. So that's just a quick sidebar. But yeah, man, I can't be mad at Ben Roethlisberger again. Taking what he took, again, it was a pay cut. He is in a position that is heavily paid. So I can't fault him for whatever amount he settled on. So for those who kept saying, well, he should have, played for less than that, he's made, upwards of $200+ million. I get it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I'm going to give him credit. And again, I'm going to say it was commendable for him to do what he did. So shout outs to Ben Roethlisberger in that regard. Again, not any groundbreaking news, but the fact that he said it out of his own mouth in an interview, I guess we have to take it on face value, right? So let's get to the next one. Again, I'm rolling through these tonight, guys. Ain't much. I'm going to roll through these things tonight. Ben Roethlisberger, next topic. He also says JuJu Smith Schuster is the is the best in the NFL on third down. I can't quote him verbatim, but he roughly said, to paraphrase it, is who else would you want? Okay, in that situation. He said he couldn't think of anybody else who's better. So let's debate that. I'm definitely interested in seeing you guys' comments. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about Ben Roethlisberger saying that JuJu Smith Schuster might be the best third down receiver in the NFL? I'm going to be completely honest and completely transparent here. I haven't done a comparison. In no way, shape, or form have I compared the stats. For one, I didn't care to do that. For two, that's just not not really what I do here, actually. And I won't even say that they will do it, but, that would kind of be more of a Steelers Depot type thing, which, again, salutes to them for bringing that type of content. I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all know how crazy Dave Bryan is in terms of analytics and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they hear that, and to produce content, they go digging and do a comparison, a comparative analysis. Maybe I'll actually send them that question if I remember. Maybe I will send them that question for Friday's podcast and have them read it on air. Just curious to know, how they feel about that. And again, maybe if I can remember, Kenyon, keep me honest to that, because I know a lot of times Kenyon will text me and say, hey, don't forget that. If I send it to them early enough, I'm sure they'll go digging. Perhaps they'll probably dig up and find that information for us. Like I said, that's not what I do. I don't do this full time. So it's little things like that I don't do here. And I am not ashamed to shout out other, respective areas or other people on the net, on blog, et cetera, that I would refer to in those situations. But let's debate that, guys. I'm going to look in the chat here in a minute. As far as for the Steelers, I don't think there is any debate with that. Just look at last season. Just look at last season. Look at what JuJu Smith Schuster did for us last season on third down, I might add. Or even when it might not have been third down in clutch situations, which ironically, a lot of times it was on third down. I don't think you can debate that. And actually, again, if you look around the league, I haven't done the comparison. Again, open and honest, being transparent. But kind of, when I look around, because I watch other teams play football, right? So, kind of when I look around, trying to remember the games that I've watched, I can't think of too many other players that I've seen just jump off the screen on third down. So Ben might have a case there. Now, let's not be naive. I'm sure Ben Roethlisberger is campaigning for his guy. Of course, there's always going to be some built-in bias. I get it. But I think it's a valuable, it's a valid point. I think it's hard to argue that JuJu Smith Schuster is not perhaps the best third down receiver in the league. It's possible. Let's see what you guys think. Let me see what you guys think. Any of you guys have any comment on that? Let me take a look. Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Share your thoughts. I know a lot of people do not like JuJu Smith Schuster. C. Antoine Hill says no debate. Destiny says she hopes JuJu gets his this year. Yeah. But I'm looking for somebody to debate that. Kenyon said he is. Yeah, you know what, Kenyon? And me and Kenyon, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do it. And let's be honest, y'all. I'm always honest with y'all, right? I'm sure some of you guys don't. Oh, let me cut on this other light. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Got to cut this little light on up under me to lighten me up here. There we go. Let me turn it down a little bit. There we go. Turn that down. Turn this back up. Boom. There we go. I know some people don't like to be honest, but I'm gonna be honest. Some of y'all are biased. It just comes with the territory. Some people are just extremely biased when it comes to their team. Me and Kenyon are not that. We love the Steelers through and through, but we're realists. And Tony as well. We're realists. We're going to call it like it is. We're going to call players like it is. And like I said, a good amount of you guys that are here tonight, y'all conduct yourselves the exact same way. But, sometimes people don't always do that. There's sometimes that people will just bias, completely bias on the situation, and they would say yay or nay, however it favors the team. Let's see. Lanisha says yes. The real Missy says yes. Kenyon says, name another third round receiver. That's better. Third down, I think he meant to say there. But yeah, I don't know. Mr. Winningham says he definitely is the best blocking wide receiver. Yeah, I can agree with that. A.J. Brown, maybe. Okay. But yeah, I don't think there's any debate there. So ironically, this is an ironic situation where we're not being biased. We are Steeler fans. Ben Roethlisberger is his Steeler quarterback, but I don't think he's being biased when he says that. So yeah, I got to give credit and shout outs to JuJu Smith Schuster. Again, I know he gets a lot of crap, man, from some people in the community. And when I say community, I'm talking about fan base as well as, just the media. They just rip him. And I don't understand why. That dude is a Steeler. So much so to where I hope even after this season, when the cap goes up, we do know, speaking of cap, hold on. I got that number here somewhere. We now know this. I think they said we know the ceiling. Let me find it. It's 200 and what is it? 200 and what? Let me find it, guys. I got it. Somebody throw it at me really quick, man, if y'all get it before I do. It's 230 something, I think. Was it? Was it? Somebody help me, man. If you guys have been paying attention. What's that cap number? It just came out, man. There was a report saying that the cap number would have a ceiling of 2 something. Or a floor. Or I don't know. I don't know, guys. I see so much, man. I think Kenyon even sent me that news. Oh, here it is. I found it. So it says that the NFL and the NFLPA have agreed to a $208.2 million cap ceiling for 2022. Now, I don't know what I was talking about. I said 232. I was bugging right there, right? I was bugging. But that's good. 208.2 will be the cap ceiling. That is good. As of now, there's no floor, but I think it's easy for us to believe. Let's just hypothetically, I could hypothetically see the floor being like 200, right? Because if you believe all of the speculation is that it's going to go up to X dollar and yada, yada, yada. You would think if the ceiling is 208, I think that they're not going to come in less than 2. And if that is the case, we good money. We'll be good. So leading into that, the point I was trying to make with JuJu, I really hope, man, that we're able to, sign him back. Especially let's see what he does this year. But as of right now, I would like to have JuJu back long term after this season. And, hopefully it plays out perfectly where the cap is at a place where they can get everybody that they need done. We'll have enough money. You get TJ done, maybe even Minka if you want to try to get him, go ahead and knock that out. Both of these guys will be playing on their 5th-year option. And maybe JuJu. We'll see. We'll see, because I don't recall. I can't never remember me personally. Maybe we did. It's just I wasn't following it so tough then. I don't recall when the Steelers have ever had 60 or so plus $1 million in cap. I don't recall that. So this will be new for me. So I think we'll have plenty of money to do whatever we need to do. So all in all, hopefully we bring JuJu on back, man. I would love that. Yeah, like Kenya says, we will be top 3 in cap space in 2022. And that is, makes my heart feel good, guys. Makes my heart feel very, very good because I haven't seen that. At least if we had that, I didn't know about it. So it's the equivalent of me not ever seeing it. Next up, Ben Roethlisberger says his elbow didn't feel 100% last season. Could that have affected his accuracy? Again, if you haven't seen the interview, it's on Steelers.com. He basically just said, they asked him about it. And he said, I think Mark Caboli might have asked the question. And he said, hey, man, I had reconstructive elbow surgery. I think that could have had something to do with it. Kind of tongue in cheek, but he was serious, because then he went on to say, look, usually when you come back for something like that, even that season, might not be the measuring stick. It might take a year or so before you're back to where you should be. And then he went on to say he will wait until after this season to be the judge. So clearly he was compromised somewhat. Okay. We'll never know how much, maybe pride or, just not allowing you to peek behind the curtain. Something there is not going to allow him to just come outright and tell us. But clearly he's alluding to the fact that, it wasn't 100% my arm. I was able to play. He even said that in the interview. I was able to play. But he kept saying that I don't think I can, I'm going to reserve that judgment until the end of this season. So that is interesting because, again, I was one of the ones who got on Ben Roethlisberger a little bit about his accuracy. I think all of us could agree that his deep ball wasn't what we're used to seeing. But then again, there were some throws he made. Remember, I was the one coming out here almost every week saying, yo, man, I don't see any real problem with his velocity. I didn't. Ben was making some throws last year, like zipping some balls in there. But, his deep ball accuracy wasn't always 100%. He made a couple throws here and there, but I think we all can agree it wasn't what we had become accustomed to seeing from Ben Roethlisberger. But outside of that, hey, man, we shall see. We shall see, and hopefully he plays well, man. Again, I'm getting early on optimism and early on excited by what I keep hearing about, Matt Canada's offense, and even Ben Roethlisberger talked about, it's strange. You've been playing, pretty much the same way for 17 years or so. And now, something new is being introduced to you. Even he said some of it looks the same, but it's different terminology. It's executed differently. I am very interested to see what Matt Canada is unveiling with this year's Steelers offense. And the reason why I preference this year's, because I still believe that Ben Roethlisberger might not be the quarterback, not saying he doesn't have the skill, but kinda, might not be the skill set quarterback that could fully run an offense that Matt Canada might want to, employ, right? So I'm just curious to see at what degree and what facet of it that we're going to see, with Ben Roethlisberger, because, he's known for having rollouts and all that kind of stuff. And when the last time we seen Roethlisberger on the move, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, and I hate to say it, but, somebody who might not be, you might not call a great quarterback right in our division that probably could run that offense in terms of being on the move is like a Baker Mayfield type of guy. I would love us to get to a point where we could do that. How Baker is on the move as far as rollouts. I ain't gonna front. I like that. It's simple, but it's effective. And Baker Mayfield runs it very well in Cleveland. But that style of rollout and bootleg and all of that, it's very effective, man, because you have to commit, right? Puts a lot of stress on the pass rushers, puts a lot of stress on the linebackers, because in most cases, you're running some play action along with it, and you're running a play action and then boot action behind that. It compromises the defense. So I would love for the Steelers to be able to do some of that. Like I said, maybe not so much with Ben Roethlisberger, because again, if I'm defending him, if I'm the defensive coordinator and you try to run a lot of bootlegs and sprint outs, I'm already going to tell my defense I'm going to have a guy that's committed to him. Like, look, he ain't going to take off and run. So I just need you to get in his face. Make him make a decision early. You don't have to, be stuck or hesitate. Just go right at him because he's not scrambling. But even with that said, I'm very curious to see exactly what Matt Canada will be unveiling in terms of a new offense, especially with Ben saying himself, yeah, I'm learning something new. So that's going to be great. Hello, Miss Debbie. How you doing? Want to take time to say hello to Miss Debbie. But yeah, man. Yeah, very interested in that. So last topic I told y'all tonight we was going to zip through this thing, man. And I tell y'all, Najee Harris, man. Najee Harris. And y'all, you know what? Before we get to Najee, y'all already know, right? Y'all already know, right? And look, this might be the last time y'all have to deal with this. It might. We'll see. But y'all already know. We're going to take a small break and get a word from our sponsor. Small break for a quick word from today's sponsor. All right, guys, quick conversation here. And I know you've been asked to trim the lawn before, and I'm not talking about the lawn outside. I'm talking about your personal lawn. Well, I got an answer for you. It is Manscaped. Manscaped are the champions of the world when it comes to men's below-the-waist grooming. Right now with Manscaped, you can check out the Lawnmower 4.0. Yes, you heard that right. The 4.0. This is a precision-engineered tool for your family jewels. And right now, you can get 20% off if you use the code SimFBallCritic at manscaped.com. Yes, you heard me correct. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code SimFBallCritic when you visit manscaped.com. And trust me, guys, with the Lawnmower 4.0, it's a whole new balls game. Thank you guys for sticking in there for a word from our sponsor. And I see my man Rajan says smooth. Reminds me of that Dave Chappelle bit. I think, was it Killing Me Softly? When he's smooth as eggs. So if any of you guys are the Dave Chappelle fans, y'all probably would remember that one. That was a hilarious stand-up. And let me tell y'all this, man. Quick sidebar. I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all my son was going to come through the back door? I told you, right? Impeccable timing, right? He came through as the ad was playing, so you guys never heard him, never saw him. So that was crazy. But I told y'all, I know my child. I know he won't go remember to come through the front door. But anyway, back at it. Let's stop and give a round of applause here to C. Antoine Hill for the donation. Thank you for that. Yes, you are correct. C. Antoine Hill, you are absolutely correct. I did read that as well, that Ben Roethlisberger is, is saying he's a little impressed by what he's seeing out of Dwayne Haskins so far. Now, to be fair, I mean, what else is he going to say, right? But the fact that he mentioned it is great, So, listen, y'all know how I feel. There's no risk involved with Dwayne Haskins. The best case scenario, or let's say the worst case scenario is, okay, Ben retires next year and Dwayne Haskins has outplayed Mason Rudolph to be the stopgap. I'll take that. That would mean that he's capable, right? And who knows? Maybe he turns into something, but if he doesn't, he doesn't. I just don't understand all of those who oppose the idea. I mean, it's literally not costing the Steelers anything. His contract isn't even guaranteed. So, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. That's how I kind of feel about that. So we'll see. But it's good to hear Ben Roethlisberger say that. But like I said, some stuff you kind of have to take with a grain of salt because, I mean, what else is he going to say? However, no mention of Mason Rudolph. And again, I don't know. I didn't read the full article. I just kind of, breezed through the headline. I don't know what prompted that question or what led to him to speak of it. So I'm not going to say it, it speaks anything towards Mason Rudolph because he didn't speak on Dwayne Haskins, but who knows? We'll see. But anyway, guys, getting to the last topic before I take the phone calls, if we have any. Najee Harris, man. I just keep hearing good things about him. And, no earth-shattering news, but, again, watching some interviews on Steelers.com, we heard that Coach Faulkner had to literally tell Najee, like, hey, man, I have to go home. And they're saying that Najee is overworking. Like, the coaches are having to ring him back a little bit. I love that. What I love about that is, again, you guys have already heard what I've said about Najee Harris as a person. Some of y'all may not have seen his interviews. Some of you guys may have never, you don't kind of know some of his background or have had the opportunity to do that. I openly admit I learned more about him after we drafted him as far as his background. But I'm the type of person, man, once I get some information, I'm willing to go down that rabbit hole. So once I start seeing this interview and I liked how you sounded today, I'm going to watch the next one. I'm going to look into your history and all that because it's interesting. I always like to know the person. Because they're people. It's the same way I deal with people in person. whether they are athletes or entertainers, or none of that matters. Just somebody you meet on a daily basis. I'm a people person. I'm a good judge of character, and I'm not just saying that to say that. People always say like, yo, you can really judge, you can really identify stuff. I guess it's just how I was raised. I was always like that, right? So those type of things I'm drawn to, finding out what somebody really is, what they really is, what they really aren't, et cetera, et cetera. But again, just everything I'm seeing from Najee, man, I asked the question, what is there anything not to like? I don't know. Seems like a great human being, and he's a hard worker, and he's one of these guys that you got to stop him from working and training. All he got to do is put it together on the field, and I don't have a doubt that he will. I don't have a doubt. Running back is one of those positions, man, where you either got it or you don't. Right? Yes. Have we seen some running backs that didn't turn out to be great in the NFL? Sure. But I seriously doubt that's going to be Najee. Najee has the makings of being a great running back. The same thing I said about Le'Veon, man. Remember early on, if you guys was following me back then, like his second full season, I was already saying, listen, man, Le'Veon, and he did. Le'Veon had the makings of being the best Steelers running back of all time, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, man, is if it wouldn't have ended the way it did, some people might be saying that. Think about it for a second. Now, I know some people probably going to get on me, oh, Sim, da-da-da-da-da. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I told you, I wasn't around for the Franco Harris era. I wasn't around for the Rocky Bleier era and, those guys. And even some of the 80s guys, I was young. I don't remember. But I don't recall, at least from since I've been watching the Steelers. Hold on, you guys. Give me a second. I see some idiots in here, man. So we're gonna have to take care of that. Give me a second, man. I never like to judge books by their cover, but just some of the usernames that I'm seeing in here, I'm not feeling. Oh wow! Look at your boy. See, there you go. See, okay. So we're gonna get y'all out of here. And you know what? I'm one of those people, man, that it doesn't bother me when people call you names and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys see it in the chat. The N-word is being spewed. It's crazy. But see, what cracks me up, this is how you kill him, right? And I'm going to let him live for a second because I want him to hear this. Nobody's paying you any mind. You're not going to get the reaction you're looking for. So I would gladly tell you to have a nice day and enjoy your life. So, nice knowing you, fella. It's ignorant. Anybody who's willing to do stuff like that on social media, again, guys, y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. Nightbot is catching a few of them, but yeah. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna have to spend a little time getting rid of some of this stuff here. And if not, I'll keep it moving. I'll keep it moving and don't even really worry about it. But yeah. Wow. Okay. It's moving pretty crazy right now. Wow. But you see the type of world we live in, man. I'm not gonna let this sidetrack me, man. But y'all see the type of world we live in right now. Like this is insane. This is insane. It's insane. It's insane. All right, so it looks like we got a decent amount of them. So, man, if they pop up, any more of them pop up, y'all let me know. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Here goes some more. Wow, this is crazy. But what's even, like I said, what's crazy about it is people spend time doing this. But you know what? I've caught a few of them, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'll let it live for a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and roll, man. let's get back to what we were saying. I don't even remember what I was saying. To be honest, I don't know. But anyway, we gonna keep it moving, man. I guess I'll go ahead and take the phone calls and what I could do. And no, I don't necessarily need anybody to moderate. You know, I kind of got Nightbot and I got Stream Elements, so I'll probably just have to update them, you know, with a few, you know, words or whatever to pick up, and we'll be fine. I'm not even gonna trip off of that. But yeah, it's crazy the type of world that we live in. That's what I was saying, that people are still willing to just bug out, you know, and you get satisfaction by it. That's just so corny. It's so corny, like, to spend time. All right, whatever. But let's take the phone calls. And while we're listening to the phone calls, man, I can tend to the chat section. All right. So it looks like might only be one call in the queue tonight. Looks like we only got Mr. Winningham, which, you know, we're always happy to hear from him. Oh, we got another one that just popped up. Here's something that I almost guarantee. Wouldn't be surprised if one of the phone calls is one of these folks. You know what? Because I'm already seeing area codes that I've never seen before. I'm not going to speculate, but I wouldn't be surprised. So just preparing you guys in case y'all hear some slight ignorant, and I'm going to say the Ebonics version. If you hear some slight ignorant stuff before I can catch it, my apologies. But first up, area code 803. Mr. Winningham, how you doing tonight, sir?
Evening. Good evening. How's everything tonight?
Oh, good, man.
We all
Can't
know,
complain.
Good. We all know all that starts in the home. So look, that's how their home training is. So be it. Hope you continue to get those endorsements, especially for Manshave. Please continue to support the SimFBallCritic. Now, I would love to see Alex Kazor and Dave, or whoever the guy you said, do the breakdown on the best third down wide receiver. I know JuJu's a big play wide receiver, especially it seems like on third down he's automatic. One thing about Najee Harris, he is going to reap the benefits of a JuJu Smith Schuster run blocking along with Chase Claypool. When he gets the corner and he said when he has those guys blocking, he's really going to reap the benefits of that. Talk about Najee Harris. This guy reminds you probably, he interviews like a 10-year vet. He's a little eccentric. I hope not Kyrie Irving eccentric, but he's a little eccentric.
He is.
On how
right.
he goes and answer questions sometimes. But we hope he's not Kyrie, the world is flat eccentric. Lastly, you were talking about quarterback. I foresee the next quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, like you say, right within that 6'2" frame. That's what Bradshaw was about. With the mobility of hitting the corner when we need him to. Going to run a few waggles and rollouts to open up the play action. So that's the future quarterback. I foresee that's what the next quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be. Because Mason Rudolph, I would say Big Ben would probably be faster than Mason Rudolph in a 40. I hope that's not true, but from what I saw in that Cleveland game, I think it's out of Mason Rudolph. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great week. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. You're very welcome. Thank you, like always. Appreciate you calling. Very interesting, guys. I will say this. One of those area codes is no longer there. So like I said, man, I'm almost certain. But yes, yeah, I would like to see something like that, man. Not the statue, if you will. You know, I think the league is kind of going away from that. Not saying that it can't exist. I do think there's still an existence for pocket passers, but that can move, you know, and this guy obviously is not even 6 feet, but I think to me, the prototype isn't necessarily Lamar, even though I think Lamar is a lot better than some people get him credit for. Man, if you really look at him, he can pass. You know, he might not be the best pure passer, but he can pass. But I think my guy is kind of the new standard. Russell Wilson. You could probably throw Pat Mahomes in that, pretty sure. But yeah, I think the new standard is more of your Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes type, a guy who can sling it, can stay in the pocket and let that ball rip, but can move when they have to, run when they have to, and run efficiently when they have to. So, yes, I'm with you, Mr. Winningham. I'd rather see one of those guys, not necessarily the 6'5", 6'6" type of guy, unless he can move. You know what I mean? So, thank you for the call, as always. It looks like we have one more in the queue, man. Area code 330. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Sim?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. I was just calling in, man. Long time listener. I finally got to call in. I got a lot of people hit to you. And a lot of people be at me about this type of show that they can't believe I don't call in. So I just wanted to ask you, man, ain't this crazy how bad the Steeler hate is out here, man? And why is it like we the only team that all of these guys on TV holding accountable for their last game? What about the Chiefs, man? Didn't they just get drugged by a defense that's not even better than ours? And then you look back, man, we 2 years removed from losing our starting quarterback and bringing in a quarterback off the practice squad and almost making the playoffs. What would the Ravens or the Chiefs do if either one of their starters go down? They're finished. You know what I'm saying? Then they want to discount us every year because we ain't bringing in every big name free agent to get released like the Browns is doing and like the Ravens do. That's the only way they even compete with us, man. So why do they sit up and just always discredit and want to dog out the team that study bills in the draft the way that we do and create these superstars that these other teams go out and bring in to help them win? I just don't get it, man. And just one more thing I had to say. I had to call in when you was talking about the Steeler running backs. Because trust me, I ain't just counting you at all, man. I know you a diehard fan and everything. But I go back almost 40 years. I'm 45 years old. I ain't been nothing but Steelers since I was a little kid. But for y'all to never mention Barry Foster's name, when y'all talk about running backs, that's kind of absurd, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was there when Cowher started the winning ways in the 90s, reason we're spoiled fans like we are. Barry Foster was up there every year with Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders fighting for that rushing title. And nobody ever talks about this man. So I was just wondering, man, like, I just don't get that, you know? But thanks for taking my call, man. I'm going to be calling you a lot more.
Oh, man, thank you. Appreciate you calling. And definitely, you are absolutely right, man. And I am guilty of that. You're right. I completely forget that. And it's probably because, like you said, he was one of those, silent assassins, if you will. But, yeah, you can't forget guys like that. I mean, obviously, people always want to throw the bus at me. Man, what about Jerome? I'm like, yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is, not even from a statistical standpoint so much, I just look at the pure talent. It's kind of the argument that I have with, it shouldn't be much of an argument, but people still have it. It's kind of the Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers effect. I'm going to always say Aaron Rodgers is a better athlete at quarterback. He can do more to me than Tom Brady could ever do. But Tom Brady is pretty good, right? And he has the rings to show for it. So that's kind of how when I say Le'Veon Bell, I think was on his way to being the best Steelers running back we'd ever seen. I'm looking at it from that standpoint as far as the total package. But you're absolutely right. I am one of those people who forget. And thank you for coming in here and reminding me and whoever else is in this chat that absolutely, there's some players that may have been playing before you guys were really paying attention to the Steelers, or some guys maybe before your time. So it's always good to hear from, older, or not even older. Like he said, he's 45. That's not old. It's not like he goes way back, but he knows that history as well. And it's very easy to forget some of these players sometimes. So shout outs to you. Thank you for calling in. And yeah, man, please don't be a stranger. Call in as much as you would want. And it looks like, guys, that we were able to get away from the nonsense, at least temporarily, man. I'm glad. I was over here working like crazy trying to, yikes. But, yeah, man, I'm sorry that you guys had to deal with that, and thank you for the donation. I see Antoine Hill. There was a few more that came through, man, that I think I missed. Brent Fox, and Antoine Hill again. Appreciate the donations. Let me throw a round of applause. Didn't get a chance to really respond to him because I was over here clicking. But clearly I'm gonna have to. Tighten up my Nightbot and my Stream Elements mods there. And again, I know some people said, have I ever thought about having a mod? And maybe not right now. I don't think I'm such a big of a channel to where it's unmanageable. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. If it grows and I become this YouTuber, then maybe I'd have somebody who was the official mod. But until then, man, we real over here, right? We could deal with a little bit of nonsense, right? Don't bother us. We dust that right off the shoulder like it's nothing. But he says one more thing, Sim. D is in the chat. Oh, okay. D is in the chat. Under with what name? Just so I can give D a proper hello. Let me know what name she's under. And definitely, D, introduce yourself to the ladies in the chat, and ladies in the chat, if y'all want to do the same. I know we didn't have you on the first Steelers Ladies of Steeler Nation, but definitely the more the merrier. I would love to have as many ladies as I can on the show and just let y'all have at it. And like I told C. Antoine Hill, and again, I'm real with it. I decided against it the first show only because I wanted, the group of ladies that's been here to be able to bond together first, before introducing anyone else to that. Not saying it's a clique or anything like that, but, I felt they were a little familiar with each other. So I was like, all right, let me just roll with them for now. And then the next show, and as we continue to do that, we'll start adding, as many female listeners as possible, because I see we've definitely acquired more listeners. So shout outs to you all, you lovely ladies. But like I said, I'm always 100% real. I don't hide anything. I'm transparent. Even anything I say I don't talk behind nobody's back. So anything I can say when they're not around, I would say to them, because I did mention that to Antoine. And like I said, I'm real with it. So I'm going to just openly say it here. That was the only reason why we didn't have you on the first time. But definitely, we'd love to chop it up with you, man, and see what we can do, Oh, 2 coasts, 2 sisters. Okay, like that name. And welcome. Appreciate you coming by. And definitely, put your particulars out there, man. I know you run a show as well, so definitely put all of that in the chat, man. It's all about promotion over here. I like that, Kenyon. Kenyon says it's not a clique, it's a still sorority. Bet. So that's about all I got tonight, guys. I'll sit here and kick it for a little while, man, because look, it ain't even 8:30 yet. So I'll sit here and kick it with you guys for about 10 minutes or so. What y'all got, man? Throw whatever y'all got in the chat and we can get at it. Thank you, C. Antoine Hill, for another donation there. Says she's under 2 coasts, 2 sisters. All right. Like that name. It was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, side comment. Buddy Johnson. I've been watching a little more of Buddy Johnson. That's an interesting guy to watch, man, as far as that other spot. I don't think Vince Williams is a lock. I don't think Spillane is a lock. Now, what might lock one of those guys into the starting role to begin with, of course, is y'all know traditionally how the Steelers do it. They traditionally go with experience and pecking order, but I wouldn't be surprised if Buddy Johnson isn't able to get into the starting lineup. I went back and watched, and it's funny, man. Listen, sometimes great minds think a lot. I think a lot alike. I went back a couple days ago and watched that North Carolina game again. Man, Buddy Johnson, and it's funny because Alex Kazur did a post not too long ago on Steelers Depot. It might have been even today or something. I saw it today, but I don't know if he posted it today. And he was using some clips from that game. Go watch his play in that game. That dude can definitely cover sideline to sideline, in terms of just speed. Doesn't do a bad job in coverage. He might not be the best cover linebacker, but let's be honest with ourselves. How many of these guys are the best coverage linebackers? Like, really, how many of those dudes are the best? Like, let's just be honest here. I know a lot of times, and I get caught up in it sometimes too, like, oh man, this dude can't cover, but how many middle linebackers are great at coverage? So when you find one, great, but it's kind of tough to judge. It's kind of tough to judge any player and expect them to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, some dudes will turn out to be that, but in some positions, when you find these dudes, hold on to these dudes. But Johnson doesn't look too bad in coverage. But I like his read and react. I like his recognition. I like his downhill style. It's no funny business with him. He's going to get where he got to go. He can weave through traffic. I've seen him take on offensive linemen. Sometimes he gets caught up in the wash, but honestly, that's happened to the best linebackers. I mean, good offensive linemen should be able to win too sometimes, right? So to me, when I'm looking at a player, whether he's good or bad, it's all about efficiency rate and frequency rate of the bad things. Even when you talk about cornerbacks, some dudes are going to get beat, but at what rate, how frequent are they getting beat is what you look at. You don't just see them give up a touchdown in a game and then you saying they trash. It don't work like that. Again, who they're facing are also professionals. They're also getting paid. It don't work like that. But that dude, Buddy, man. Yeah. Dude, Buddy, keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. Keep a real eye on him. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, like Kenya just said, Tomlin, I'm pretty sure they're going to go with Spillane first, but let's keep a real close eye on Buddy Johnson. What else you guys got? Read some comments here. Then we'll get out of here. Steeler Nation 412 says, laugh out loud, I can't believe the hate Steelers are getting after last year from being 11-0. They then been doing in years. People were wrong. Guess we just got to do it again. Yeah, and thank you for bringing me back to that, man, because my man 330's comment, I didn't even respond to that. So thank you for bringing me back to that. He's absolutely right. It's kind of funny that the Steelers are getting written off like so soon. I know people are really trashing Ben Roethlisberger, but it's like, on one hand, you're saying Ben Roethlisberger is a wash, right? Some of the media, they're not gonna do. So if that's the case, then why y'all making such strong of a case, or the Steelers are not gonna be much? Well, how could they be, according to what you guys are saying? How could they be if Ben Roethlisberger is a wash? Like, I'm tired of hearing it from both sides. It's weird, man. But again, these people in the meat, they have a job to do. That's why I'm just not a fan of just propaganda, man. I'm just not. But we'll see. I like being the underdog, to be honest with you. I do. I like being the underdog. Hopefully that motivates Ben Roethlisberger, where some are already calling him the fourth best quarterback in the division. That is very disrespectful. No disrespect to Lamar, because I like Lamar Jackson. No disrespect to Baker Mayfield. And definitely no disrespect to Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow, come on, brother. I mean, how long he been in the league? That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to say that a Baker Mayfield is better than Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, prove it. Now, again, the Browns on the come up. I like some of Baker's game. Don't get it twisted. I don't think some people think Baker's trash. He's not trash. Baker can play. He fits in that scheme very well. But I just think I don't know, to outright say that these dudes are for sure better. If you want to say Lamar Jackson is at this stage of his career, I could go with that. I can go with that. I could definitely go with that. Somebody said, yeah, I saw that Vander Esch situation. I don't think that happens, though. I don't think that happens. I don't think. What would it cost for the Steelers to bring him in? Let's see. Destiny says, good question, Rel. I hope it's Chase or Juju interested in Sim's thoughts. Okay, let me find the question. Sim, don't care that much about who's the number one receiver, but who do you think breaks 1,000 yards between Juju, Claypool, or Deontay Johnson? Ben definitely favored Deontay. There it is right there. If you want me to be honest, I think who has the best chance would be Deontay Johnson. Again, if we all go back and look at the games, just look at the targets. Listen, man, I know I said it when we drafted him, and it kind of sounded crazy, right? I admit, it sounded foreign even coming out of my own mouth. But when I said that Deontay Johnson was going to be our modern-day Antonio Brown, I meant all of that. Targets, becoming the number one guy, the guy who you kind of look at in one-on-one situations, the guy who can win on and off the line, route running, first step, all of that. It is Deontay Johnson. Ben Roethlisberger loves that connection. The thing is going to be whether or not Deontay Johnson, as you hear me clapping hands purposely, these are what's going to matter. These, along with this, if that boy keeps his concentration, easy. And I'm not saying easy like he's just going to put up 1,000, but he could do it. He could do it. What's the average? Let's do the math, right? 17 games. 17 games. And, we got to take a little bit out, because we're going to run the football, obviously. We're going to run the football with Najee. Let's see. Fam. If I'm doing this correctly, that's roughly 59 yards per game. Deontay Johnson can do that. 17 games, 1,000 yards is roughly 59 yards. That's very possible because I think Deontay Johnson could have a season like this. He has a game or two where he's 5 catches for 60 yards. He might have a game where he's 9 catches for 103 yards. He might have a game where it's 3 catches for 78 yards. Like those oddities like that, but it's going to average out. So in a 17-game season, I could see five to six games possibly where Deontay Johnson could be over 100. And then if that's the case, can he get at least 50 in the other 3? The remaining games? Possible. So I think Deontay Johnson has the best chance to do it. Don't discount a guy like Claypool, though, because, again, what I just said about Deontay Johnson as far as the numbers, Claypool could have a game with 3 catches for 120, right? Because Ben then hit him on a 70-yarder, then turn around and hit him on a 25-yarder, and then hit him, So Claypool could end up being that too. I will say, as much as I love Juju ain't gonna get that no more. I don't expect Juju to get 1,000 no more because the way we utilize Juju, and I think what Juju is going to mean to the offense. However, Deontay does what he's supposed to do, then that's going to open more up for Juju. So we'll see. But I think in that order, Deontay Johnson, Claypool, JuJu Smith Schuster as far as who's more likely to get 1,000 yards receiving. Najee Harris is going to take a lot of that away, though. So we shall see. All right, a few more minutes, guys, and then we get out of here. What else y'all got? Jordan Miz says, I'm not worried about DJ. If anything, his ball carrying is the only concern. Excuse me. He does a lot with the ball. He does, man. The old saying is loaf of bread. That ain't even what he be doing. I don't know what he be doing with that football. That boy be all over the place, don't he? Let me find another comment, man. Let me scroll back up, see what else y'all got. Bill C117 said, let's talk about Clem and the O-line. Yes, I can't wait Bill, until some pads come on, man, and then we can revisit that topic because everything sounds good. Talking sounds good. We're gonna be physical, and everybody's preaching how physical he's preaching. He's an ex-player, but I want to see it translate. But yeah, I can't turn a blind eye to that. I really love that because listen, the running game starts up front. It starts up front. Starts up front. Period. The last thing a running back wants to do is already having to dance as soon as the ball touches his hands, meaning behind the line of scrimmage. That's not fun for a running back. Offensive line has to get pushed. When you're pulling, you got to be furniture movers, and even if you ain't moving the furniture, you at least got to get in the way. So we shall see. What else? What y'all got, man? Ali Howard says, then we looking at 3 wide receivers close or 1 over 1,000. Possible, man. But again, let's not get too caught up in the talent that we have at wide receiver, because I'm telling y'all, Najee Harris is going to eat a lot of those possible receptions. If we are expecting the run game to improve, and if we're expecting Najee to be what we think he can be, and again, he's a rookie, so I'm not putting all of the weight on his shoulders. But if he can at least be somewhat what he was in Alabama, then that's going to take a lot of them receptions off the table. And even he's going to pick up some receptions. Remember, James Conner, had a season, I can't remember if it was last year or not, but he had a season where he caught like 60 receptions. Najee probably had more than that. So we'll see. And let's also keep this in mind. Matt Canada's offense, we don't know exactly what the game plan is and what it looks like. So, again, with the running game, you expect that to improve. A few more gadgets here and there, like jet sweeps and things like that. Maybe some touch passes, which count as passes. But who knows how often we're throwing the ball. I would very much prefer that we're not seeing games where Ben Roethlisberger has thrown the ball beyond 40 times. I'm not trying to see that. So if that happens and he's throwing the ball 27, 28, 25, some games, then that reduces the reception. So there you have it. What else y'all got? Okay, y'all talking about who were the best coverage linebackers. And yeah, when y'all start talking about Jack Ham and them, I can't chime in. Though I have watched old film, I haven't broken down the old film. Okay. But I don't really have much more, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody who came through tonight. Thank you guys for sticking it out, while we had that nonsense go on. But people gonna be, they're gonna be what they are. People are crazy. This world is crazy out here. So can't let stuff like that phase you. You semi-acknowledge it, but not to where it's upsetting. Because I know the natural reaction for most, that would have been a shouting match. I ain't doing that. Not even giving them a rise. I'll just say, oh, okay, that's what it is. And, the fact that people are still spewing names like that to people of color in 2021 is just beyond crazy to me. Beyond crazy to me. Because let's end this show on this note. Mr. Winningham, if I remember correctly, and our good buddy from Detroit. I could be off, Mr. Winningham. If you're still in here, you can correct me. But I know for sure that a good buddy in Detroit, he told us last week that he was 53 years old. And I think Mr. Winningham, it might be in his 50s as well. But correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to say this. Even when you look at those gentlemen, right? Technically, nobody that I have talked to on this show now, I don't know who all is watching, but I look at the analytics and it tells me the demographic of age group. But technically, technically, when you just look at the ages, nobody on this show should be racist. We didn't live through it. Now, when you start getting in your 50s and definitely 60s, you know, I think about my parents, and you know that's kind of on the cusp because you still dealt with some of it. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, we should be so far removed from that. So far removed from that. It just always blows my mind that we are where we are today in 2021. It's crazy because, again, like I tell you, I look at my son, right? 7 years old. First of all, you know, his mother, my wife, is black and Puerto Rican, right? Biracial, black, Puerto Rican. My son plays outside with a family that lives 2 doors down, Puerto Rican family, right? He plays with this other kid who lives right across the way, white kid. Plays with another kid that lives up the block, black kid. Plays with these 2 girls that live right in front of us, right down the street. They are a mixed race. Mother's black, dad is white. My point is, all of them play. They have no idea about any of that stuff. They just kids. And it's funny because you look at kids and kids show you how we all should be. They have no idea. So the only way that they're going to know is if one of us teach them how to not like another ethnicity. That's the only way them kids are going to know at 7 years old. And that's what's sad about it. That's what's sad about being in 2021 and we still dealing with some idiot coming into the chat spewing the N-word and watermelons and all of that. Hey, here's the funny kicker. I'm really going to get out of here. You know how many people I know that like watermelon and chicken that ain't African American? But anyway, man, let me get out of here. Anything else y'all got, man? Anything else y'all got? This world, I tell you, boy. It is crazy. Anything else y'all got still related, man? If not, I'll say peace. Amen, Kenyon. Right on, brother. Right on, brother. But all right, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Hope you all have a lovely, lovely evening. Be safe. Watch some I'm about to say NFL. I wish I was saying that. Watch some NBA playoffs, man. Looks like, my Steelers took up. See, I'm always talking Steelers. Looks like my Sixers took a little game off, just to allow the Wizards to feel good. But I think we're going to go ahead and get them up out of here the next go round. However, I know Embiid left with an injury, so I got to check on that. I don't know if it's significant or not, but these playoffs has been good, man. It's probably a game or two on tonight, so make sure you guys are enjoying yourself with that. And hey, during this lull period, we'll just continue to try to find stuff to talk about. All right? So everybody be good, be well, stay safe, God bless. And thank you for tuning in to another edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. Catch you guys next week. Peace.